Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode, and welcome back to the continuance of this beautiful series that we're on so far. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and carry on. I didn't realize how far ahead I was until I saw the video upload the other day, and I'm like 2 weeks ahead, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Pump the brakes.
It's good though, because if I go on holiday and I forget to record anything, I've got it back up then, so I'm absolutely fine. So when we spoke to you last, we said that we were going through some difficulties with some of the players leaving. We had aims this season that I don't know if you remember the aims that you wanted to go for, but there were aims that you wanted to go for this season. Your thoughts on we spoke a little bit recently. I don't ever, and I think Bobby can attest to this. I don't ever give anything away about what happens. We doing something else on another channel. So on my Mark Talks Wrestling channel, I send thumbnails in about that week that I've just recorded, so I get people's perspective on it. With this channel, I don't send him nothing. I don't want to ruin anything. I don't want to spoil anything. So what are your thoughts so much, and what are you thinking at the moment?
Well, that my reactions are always legitimate. So I can attest to that. So I'm curious to find out. I mean, the fact that you say this is going to be a long one means there's a lot of surprises coming my way, I'm sure.
Okay, so the main aims let's go through the aims that we set ourselves last season. And let's go through them. So the personal one was to get a coaching badge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that didn't happen. I'm going to tell you that now. The other one, the team game, was that we had to finish in the top 2.
Yeah,
better than what we did last season, and we had to win the playoff final. For that, we had to win the trophy. And the player perspective was we had to get top assists or top of the goal scoring or assist. I think it was one of those that we went for.
One or the other.
Yeah, so we went for that. So, without further ado, with all of that, give me what you think. If you could guess, let's go one by one. I've already admitted we ain't got a coaching badge. It's simple as that.
I think you hit the other goals. I think the coaching badge is the missed one, and that's what's gonna grind your gears the most.
Okay, let's have a look now, shall we? So here we go. First one is we won the Australian Cup again.
Woo!
2 seasons in a row, 2 years in a row, we won it again. I'll be honest. I didn't realize we were in the final. I kept simulating through the pre-season and stuff until I saw it. Oh, we're in a final. That happened. So yes, we got to the final of the Australian Cup, beating Western Sydney Wanderers 3-0. And yeah, you could tell we used the Almiron tactic. I'll explain later on. Next up, This is the league, the regular season league finish.
Fantastic.
We finished top. At one point, there will be a video that you will find. At one point, we were discussing an unbeaten season. At one point, unbeaten season. But then the video after I said unbeaten, we lost. I got ahead of myself at this point. I was like, I'm turning to the Invincibles. Thoughts on this? Your reaction when you first saw this? Top of the league, top goal scorer, doubled the amount of goals that we scored compared to them. As well, I think we had the 3rd lowest goals conceded, 2nd lowest goals conceded compared to the season before, and the 1st goals scored. Your reaction to this?
Absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, over exceeding the expectations by a long shot, and by a very long shot, actually. So this is fantastic. Great news.
I think we had a discussion last episode. We were talking about how much I hated you in the first season in Australia because of the goalkeeping situation. We'll get into that in a minute.
All
But
right.
for us to have the best of this, also, can you tell I've had a haircut? Proper flex in the hair. Anyway,
so did I a week ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You still look as handsome as ever. Anyway, enough of
That's
the
why
ass
we do
kissing.
this show.
Exactly. We just kiss each other's ass. Next up, we got to here we go. So this is the overall statistics down here. Okay, we got highest goal scorer by a little while.
Wow.
We had the highest average rating. We had the joint second assist by 1, which really hurt me. Also, the goalkeeper that was shit got the most clean sheets in the season.
Well,
By the way,
he woke up.
Do you know what the funniest thing is as well?
What's that?
We still didn't hit your target of last season of getting 13.
Wow. And you had the most. That's crazy.
Yeah. And we also had the second most amount of yellow cards. So, yeah. So as you can see here, we got all of this, and I would say we passed it because of the top goal scorer, goal scorer and clean sheet wasn't there, but not assist. So it was very much of high class as a pass because we had more better than what we did.
It's definitely a
so
pass.
That was what we went for. As you can see over here as well. Yes, sir. Okay, perfect. I'll take that. I thought I was going to have to cheese that. But as you can see in the top left-hand corner here, as you know, when you do the regular season in Australia, the top 2 automatically go through to the semi-finals. But then the other teams below that till 6th position have to go to elimination round before they get to the finals. So we saw this. I can't remember if the next slide tells you if what's happened or not, but let's find out. No, we're now talking about the Asian Champions League. So This is what happened in the Asian. We said we wanted to do well in the group stage. We got knocked out because of goal difference, finishing second. We didn't have enough points on there, and as you saw, Shanghai annihilated everyone that was in our group. Also, as well, there is a fun fact about this. I don't know whether I screenshotted it or not, but Leroy Sané absolutely annihilated the assists at the end of the tournament. Just kind of absolutely annihilated. I know we said that we wanted to try and do well in the Champions League. Your reaction to seeing that?
I mean, it's a technicality, really. I mean, we essentially finished around where we were hoping to finish. It just, the goals needed to be there, and they weren't quite in terms of the differential. So it's not ideal, but it's not the worst situation either. It's an improvement.
It is. We qualified. No, we didn't get into it last. We qualified the last season with Persip, but we didn't qualify for this one, which is slightly irritating. But anyway, moving on. And here we are. So we won the playoff final as well.
Yes.
We did the treble here for us. 4-2 overall in the grand final. Now, I have to come clean to something, Bobby.
All right.
You know I said I was going to do Almiron's tactics.
Very aware.
Until no matter what. Well, I didn't. It got to 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed it to the tactic that I used way before I did anything with you, where I did Unemployed to Goat on my channel. Go and check that out. Unemployed to Goat, and it was the tactic I used when I went to Japan. And I went, it's Asia. It works. It's a 4-3-3. It's a little bit more attacking. And then we scored 4 goals from it.
So changing it up.
I'm going to be honest. Tactical changes.
Yeah.
Tactical changes.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta flip mid script in order to win.
Absolutely. Overall thoughts for yourself. Winning the treble in our final season, or potential final season. It was all down to literally. You'll see the video. I said I'm now going to go off and think about it, and then had a haircut. And then when it cuts back, my hair's completely different. I had a shower, an haircut, and then I made the decision. So your thoughts, firstly, and we'll get into a little bit more than that. Firstly, on winning the treble and our stay so far in Australia.
Oh, phenomenal. 2 seasons in, and already we're cleaning house like this is excellent. The only question I have is, where's the fucking coaching badge?
Anger levels. The message I got back every time was, we're going to have to be selfish here. We don't want to give you a coaching badge for bigger teams to come and get you.
Oh, you're doing too well. We can't possibly promote. That's like a shit company that goes and holds back a really good employee because they don't want to put somebody else in place of them where they're doing an excellent job. Just what a bogus answer.
Yes. By the way, I've had that now with both of the clubs I've managed, Persip and now Newcastle Jet. Yeah. So yeah, that's what's happened here, and this is why we're talking about the success that we've had. This is, if you know Football Manager, you know that there's a manager history timeline you can go through about your whole career, what you've done, and it shows us here that we turned up. Did I copy that twice? I did. It's meant to be 2 different ones. But very much of, we did the Australian Cup one season, did it again, then did the league, and then did the finals. All of that during our time here. Also, Anthony Young grabbing 26 goals. By the way, as well, I will also admit Anthony Young has now broken the record for most amount of league goals by a Newcastle Jets player in a single season. He's also, if I'm correct, 10 goals away from breaking the all-time record. So maybe something we keep an eye on. It is mental. I don't know what the next slide is. So this is in the league and then win the. Your thoughts? Was Australia a success? If it was a success, what was the success down to? I want to get your opinion before I say mine.
I would say it's a success. I mean, the success comes down to hard work, understanding what some of the pain points were, and going ahead and fixing those areas. I mean, fortunately enough, some players even smartened up from season 1. Maybe they picked up on your tactics finally, started molding together properly as a team, and that ended up working. The more they listened, the more we won. It was a dominating season in the second season. Sure, we didn't hit the Asian Champions League win. I didn't expect we were going to even hit the finals or anywhere near it, for that matter. It'll come in time, with whether it's with this team or with another team. But I'd say we've taken this team and smashed them out of the park and made them the dominant force now in Australia.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm a little bit disappointed the Champions League we didn't get out of the group stage, because I really did think. I think if I used that formation I used in the final, I think after going 2-0 down, I think we would have done a lot better. But at the same time, when you've got one of the greatest Chinese teams of all time, with the amount of wealth that they have as well, it was a tough ask. And it was tough ask to get that amount of points that we needed. Right. So, with that being said, we have left Australia. I had decided after a haircut that we won everything that we could. We did everything that we can. We won everything that we could. What should we do next? And I presume you clocked onto what was going to happen after a message I sent you. Yeah. And I said that the 2 countries that we could do next was these 2. Was South Korea, can't do North, obvious reasons, and China. Can do China. I've done China in a personal save in FM22. Many moons ago, I did a Chinese save on my own, and it was interesting. People at home don't know where we've gone, by the way, nor do you. So this is a reveal to everyone where we've gone. I've already got the club. I know our first game. I know exactly where we are. What is the country you think we're going to? And where do you think they're going to be positioned when we take over?
We're going to South Korea, and we're knowing how this has gone so far. We're taking some team that has struggled for success or even for wins, period, for a long last time, and we're going to completely change their fortunes.
Okay. I'm just currently trying to get the team that that I've signed for on my phone here, so that no, that is not the team. Because I think I remember some anyway. So you are slightly correct in what you said. I'll explain why. We are in China.
Okay.
We are now. We've gone from a state. We're now in a. We will look. I love the next episode, by the way. Tomorrow's episode is we're going to have a deeper dive into this team. We're going to have a deeper dive and look at the history. We're going to have a little rough look now, but we're going to have a deeper dive into that in tomorrow's episode, where we're going to be looking at a house to rent or buy, depending on the money we've saved. And we've got to find a little annex that Bobby's got to live in. As you can see, the house that he's living in right now is basically the shed that we made him live in Australia. That's basically where he lives in there. So somehow he's rich enough to buy himself a fucking piano, by the way.
It follows me everywhere. I get it flown in.
It gets it GTA style when you hook the cars up in GTA on that helicopter. Anyway,
bring it, boys.
Off on the tangent. So exactly. So we're in China. Bobby's already followed us out there. Obviously, because it makes sense. They've got a really weird history. We're going to go through it quickly for it. They are in financial fuckery. They lost £2 million last season. They're going to gain money this season. They're spending around about £90,000 a week on players, and they got a transfer budget of £1.3 million. But I am interested to see about what goes on there. They are in debt, and a big debt that it is. They are £55 million in debt once the chairman sells the club. They have to then pay him £55 million for the amount of money he's in.
Oh.
Well,
ouch.
55, but they've... Yeah, that's a lot of money. Hopefully it's not die young. Anyway, next up, this is the team. Okay, so this is ability-wise what we're looking at. The best players. So in China, you find this out now, you're only allowed 5 foreign players in the whole squad. That includes the bench. I think you're only allowed 5 foreign players, including the bench and the starting 11. So most of them have to be Chinese. But the problem we've got is all 5 of our foreign players are the best players we've got. And the worry about that is as well is I went through this. The worrying thing is their ages. Yes, 27 and 28 is okay. 26 is really good for Football Manager. They're at their prime, and that's where you need it. 30, on the other hand, for a midfielder is a little worrying. Also, we got a 36-year-old goalkeeper who's retiring. But what you will, I have gone through the under 18s or the under 21s, and I have found 2 players that I've promoted. They've come in straight in. Next up. So this is why we took it. This is a quick refresh on it. They've won the Asian Champions League twice. By the way, if I'm correct, and I should be correct on this is the team that bought Oscar from Chelsea and paid him the most ridiculous amount of wages at the time that has ever been seen. And he signed, I think it was like a 8-year contract. He recently left the club after being there 8-9 years. And I think he was the only one out of the mega super money that was spent at that time when China went nuts, that actually stayed and actually tried to carry on with it, which is great to him. Carlos Tevez turned up for about 3 months, but not with this club, just the Chinese club. Yeah, he does. They've won the Asian Champions League twice. They've never won the Chinese Super League. They've won the Chinese First Division. They've won the Under-19s FA Cup, and they've also won the Under-19s Super League once. So, interesting. Also, if we look, this is the current position we're in. We are currently halfway through the season. So, normally, when we finish, we will then have a summer's break. I can get the players in. No, not with Chinese football. And I remember this because I remember doing this with the Japanese league. It is so annoying that they do their leagues from January to December, not July, not August to May. They do it in a calendar year. So as you'll see, the league winners are done by year. So in 2028, Beijing won it. So you don't get the 24-25 season. You just get that calendar year. And currently, you'll see by the stats, nobody is in there for them. So, yeah. Also, this is another. We've already been knocked out of the Chinese FA in the league. 50-1 on to win the league. 8th best in all of it. Apparently, we've got one key player and he's on loan with us. I think I'm not sure. So, Bobby, before we get into this last section here of expectations for this weird ass half season, because I'm probably going to have to see you again next Sunday. Before it, because I don't know where we are and how many fixtures we got left. So I want to get your take on this. Your feelings of first time going to China. We're going to have a look at houses and all that stuff tomorrow. Your thoughts on the club that we signed for. By the way, this is the first time, this is no joke, this is the first time I applied for a job and I was told by the fans that we were a leading candidate and the fans wanted us the more out of anyone than any job I've had in this series so far. So we're doing something right. Your thoughts on all of this so far?
I think it's a great opportunity. It's going to be interesting. I mean, the club is completely in turmoil right now. I think they need us. I think they need us to turn this around.
So let's go by expectations. Let's talk about the expectations. What is my expectation for this season?
For this weird half season?
Yeah, for this weird half a season that we're on.
I was just gonna say, considering that where we're currently at and coming into a season where you don't have a lot of control, I would say from top to bottom, survival and don't get fired.
That's fair. Player or position objective?
I mean, this one's tough because we
know no one.
We don't know anybody. I don't know. I want to say have a player in the upper half of goal scoring ability, maybe something along those lines. Okay. Like they're clearly not going to be top, probably not even top 3.
You can also say that with the player objective, you can also say how many youth academy players, please don't pick a lot. You could, if you wanted to do that, how many youth academy players you would want in the starting 11.
Okay.
Please don't pick a lot. You can do that. That is that is start of the player positioning type thing. You can add that in. That's something easier.
I then if we're going to go that direction, I want to see bring in at least one of the starting 11 to mold them to a player that will be useful going into next season. I'm going to take it very easy on this one because it's a half season. We're already kind of in a tough spot.
We have no clue where we are, what we're doing, or anything at the moment. Season objectives as a team. Where is
survive? Don't get fired. Survive and don't get fired.
So very light and easy start. We're going to do that. So Bobby, I want to get your final thoughts here before we end. your final thoughts on Australia, and your thoughts on now that we've got to pack up, get a plane, go up north, a little bit to the left. I actually don't even know where it is on the map. We'll look at that tomorrow. Of this new club, your thoughts?
I think it's going to be an interesting. I mean, we haven't made things easy on ourselves yet, but we've had great success. So, Australia, thank you. It was fun. China, here we are. You asked for us. We're now around. Let's see if we can turn this shit show around here for you. Again, survival this season, and then the next time you see us, hopefully we're talking bigger, better things already and on the right path to success.
Yes, very much so. I gotta say, the Australian save was a lot of fun. We only did 2 seasons, 2 years, basically, in Australia. But I feel like we've done that now. And we've completed it. The goal... Oh, I'm going to say something that I really shouldn't have now. Here we go. I'm giving myself 3 seasons to win the Asian Champions League. If I don't win it with this club, I will be leaving Asia, and then at the end of this series, we're coming back to win it. I will download, and I mean this with the wholehearted I can possibly say, I will download the Saudi database just so I can cheese the Asian Champions League, and that's it. I will download that mega file, which I've refused to download because how big it is and how it will destroy my computer. But I will download it just for the fact of me winning the Asian Champions League. That's it. So we have 3 seasons starting, not this season, but 3 full seasons. We will have to try and win the Asian Champions League. If we don't, we're then leaving and most probably ending up in the Americas somewhere.
Fair enough.
Right, that's fine. Bobby, final thoughts before we leave everyone?
Final thoughts. This is an exciting new opportunity. Can't wait for it to kickstart. As always, everybody, let us know what you think in the comments. And, it's fun, especially when you see people from these particular parts of the world getting in the comment section and talking to us about their favorite football teams. So keep that love going because we keep coming around the world for you next.
Absolutely. And down below, in the ticker down below, is where you can find Bobby Money Munson. We will let you know all the stuff he's got coming up. We're not going to say what he's got coming up this week because we are about 3 weeks ahead. So don't worry about that. We are so far in advance. Also, I'm going to say this now. I have a new channel, and I'm going to plug this as much as I can. Mark Talks Men's Health. This is a new series on this new channel that we're doing where we are sitting down with men and women and talking about men. We're going to be talking about statistics, about role models, about the stigma around men. We're going to be opening the conversations for people to have a chat. So please make sure you go over to Mark Talks Men's Health. It's under the Mark Talks brand. And we are going to try and help one person as much as we can. We're getting every random Tom, Dick, and Harry to come on as well. Any walks of life. I booked up with so many different people that I'm really excited to start the series. But if you haven't already, go over there because episode 1 that comes out on July the 16th. Yes. Well, July 9th is the episode I did introduction to the channel. July 16th is the episode I have done with my brother, and we are doing that. Also, the week after that will be with this guy here. I will be sitting down with Mr. Munson, and we're going to be talking about men's health and stuff like that, because I know he does a lot of men's mental health chat on our local establishment, but we're going to be doing a channel solely dedicated to that. If there are people, and I will say this, that you want on the channel, tag them on social media along myself to say, I would like to see you on here. The more celebrities you can get, maybe we can get them on. Or any walk of life. If you know anyone in the police, army, hospitals, nurses, any job, the builders, all of them lot, if they want to come on, I am here and I would love to have a chat. But we're going to end it there. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button. If I can... my brain wants to function. Hold on, my brain functioning. I'm going to talk to you, and I'm not going to edit this. Get over it. Down below is the descriptions down to all of my channels for Mark Talks Football and Mark Talks Wrestling as well. Mark Talks Wrestling, we've just come from... Where the fuck are you when you see this? We've just come from Bash in Berlin, and we're building up to Heatwave. I think that's where we are, or Heatwaves now.
Somewhere in there.
We're over there now. Yeah, somewhere around there. We're somewhere around there. And then Andre has made me stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning last night, creating a load of shitty tag teams factions that he had a brainwave over, and I had to design them all myself. So that was interesting. So make sure you go and check that out. But if you haven't already, please go and follow Bobby Munson, absolute legend of a man. We love him lots on here. And we will see you guys tomorrow, where we're going house hunting, and I'm going to buy a car. Oh, yay.